Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Esteemed FaceTime with Leaders, an initiative by World Development Corporation. I'm Ajuna Sharawat, anchor at World Development Corporation. FaceTime with Leaders is a platform for industry titans to share their experiences, thoughts, ideas, and best practices in order to inspire one another and future leaders. In a nutshell, we attempt to encapsulate the multi-decadal learnings acquired by these industry leaders. We also hope that by conducting these interviews, we can bring together a global community of eminent personalities. We aim to make these sessions a gathering of industry stalwarts and a knowledge-sharing community. We have one such stalwart on FaceTime with Leaders with us today, Lalit Sharma, a highly competent professional who has rolled out mega infrastructure projects across the country with extensive experience in construction and project management, budgeting and costing, operational excellence, MIS reporting, procurement, contract management, SAP implementation, product management, and resource management. Lalit has a master's degree in construction technology and management from IIT Madras and a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering from NIT Hamirpur. Currently, Lalit is spearheading the infrastructure rollout of fiber networks across the country at Reliance Jio. Welcome, Lalit, to FaceTime with Leaders.
Thank you. Thank you, Anjana. Thanks a lot.
It's such a pleasure to have you and so excited to this, looking forward to this conversation.
Yeah, same here. The excitement is mutual. I am also excited to have the conversation over here. So
Yes. So, going ahead, the first question would be, obviously, from your educational background, you pursued BTech degree in mechanical engineering, then MTech in construction technology and management. We would like to know, why did you feel the need to change your career trajectory early on?
So thanks for first questioning, and so that I can clarify it. It was not a by chance or a by fluke. It was a well thought of strategy. And starting my career, or when I was studying in college, the country was growing like anything. We had seen projects like Delhi International Airport, Mile getting tendered, Metro Rail starting in Delhi. A Commonwealth was there. So the whole stay over there was a infrastructure rampant growth in India, which was due coming over there. When I was doing my mechanical engineering, I saw that. And I was excited by a fact of a new Atal Tunnel got announced. So I belong to Himachal. So that's a place where the Atal Tunnel right now, everyone is enjoying it. But we remember the times when we had to go through Rohtang and this tunnel was announced. For this tunnel, a new machine called as tunnel boring machine. A mechanical engineering just got enticed with that. A total 14-kilometer tunnel can be done by mechanical guys. And we are the main guy. That's not only civil. So then I looked into the infrastructure side of the country. We still are going ahead very nicely. We have a long leaps to go in infrastructure. The developed nation will have a much better infrastructure facilities available to us, roads, railways. We have seen a lot of initiatives coming in. But that was the fact around 2 decades back when I saw that being a core mechanical engineer, the only area which does not go down is infrastructure. Rest all have a cyclic nature, whether it is IT, whether it is finance. So then I wanted to diversify my skills. From the school itself, I have been a co-curricular guy. I used to go into orations. I used to go into debates. I used to go into poem recitation, skills, everything. So sports also. So I was on the verge of always enhancing my skill sets. During engineering, then I also thought, okay, let's go for not only a plain graduate into the corporate world, enhance myself on the masters, and that too in an area which I can implement immediately. I can have applied engineering knowledge over here. And I went to construction technology and management, which is a combination of a technology and management course offered by IIT Madras. This helped me a lot. And like when I say the growth did not stop over here, whether my initial career days, because when I joined back, I started doing business planning. So a mechanical engineer with construction management and doing business planning. So my skill, but I had got a key skill of learning and delivering. To learn and to deliver. That's the key skill of the management today. We are all experiencing and excelling in it about it. So I learned that skill. I went over there. The initial job of making business plans for international expansions, for strategic operations, for my daily yearly operation, the AOPs, that helped me a lot in the construction management studies because the economic, because the contract management that I studied over there. When it came to the field force management in my earlier first company, L&T, I was so much enthralled because all those concepts were so common to me because they were taught to me in engineering. Whether it was a ladle furnace, whatever engineering terms were there, that was so common to me because it was coming from a bachelor's. And the man management, the construction management part came to me because it was coming from the master's technology course that I had. So this course gave me, or this diversification gave me the upskilling and the cross-pollination of my thoughts and took away the limitations of my thoughts. It enabled me to go leaps and beyonds from where technical knowledge can stop you. Understand what the delivery requirements are, understand what is required by the customer, and understand how the value can be improved, and then deliver. If we have to upskill, if a mechanical guy can learn civil, he can learn metallurgy, he can learn telecom, where I'm today sitting. So that is where my career started. And I believe that that was my right decision of how I took it. And I'm still following it up. Still quite a bit success in that. Not repenting that a mechanical engineer went to a civil engineering course. And my alma maters both are premium institutes, so I love both of them. I have that alumni network helping me across. So that again, added advantage of IIT alumni network basically added to me with my master's in civil. And I'm continuing with that. I'm hopeful that it will give me more and more fruits in coming features.
Sure enough, sure enough. And you have handled various roles, some of the most demanding ones, one of which is creating the world's largest 4G network in India.
Yeah.
Can you enumerate some challenges you faced with the project?
Well, that's a day-to-day challenge today. Also, I'm now creating a 5G network, or the biggest wired network for globe. The organization has given me enough on my plate. It is as simple as it is that I dream, I aspire, and I deliver. And when I talk about challenges of 4G rollout, the first challenge that every one of us knows is its rollout itself of fiber network quality. Now, fiber requires execution of outside your home, outside my home, outside everyone's home. Everyone wants fiber, but they do not want a pit or a ditch outside their house. So maintaining the quality and ensuring that the workforce, which is spread across in public domain, is working as per our standards and maintaining and creating a minimum inconvenience to the public, because we cannot say that we can create such networks without inconvenience. There will be inconvenience. We have only tried to make them as minimum as possible. During this, I had specific challenge of making the model to a unitized model. How do I scale up so that I take care of 100K labor workforce in the field, which is spread across at least 6-8K sites which are working in parallel, and ensure that the same quality, the same measurements, and the same matrices are being followed over there. This was a very big challenge, but scale up is only possible when we go into a unitized approach of executions only. And then another one I would like to share. So when we started this network, we brought in a technology from European countries, or New Zealand, you can say specifically, which is known as slot trenching or micro trenching. So it's a very simple technology where a small tractor is there, which cuts along its wheel, and you lay the fiber over there. But the problem with the technology, then we brought it over here, that India, we only do a boring or drilling of pipes over here. These tractors were not made in India, and their parts were not made in India. So the bill for the consumables and everything was skyrocketing everywhere. I had to keep a very high inventory. I had, because all these orders were consumers were coming from either Europe or from China or from US. And they had very high delivery times also because of the sea freights. So now either I have to keep my inventory so high that I counter on these delay times, or I have to ensure that I incur more cost in the delivery because these are heavy and get them air freights. So my cost bills were going very, very high. Then started the, what you can say, excitement of being mechanical engineer. Now here came my BTech back to me, and we 4 or 5 people sat together and thought, let us list down all the activities which we do and identify these consumers which are costing to us so much. And why don't we make them in India? Those 2 months I enjoyed very much. Those were challenging. I was back on my design dashboards. I was opening my engineering books. I was doing all those design calculations back again. And we created the designs with metallurgical, all properties, metals properties. We hit back our periodic tables. We went back and did it. I remember my iron carbon diagram very much. So that was a subject over there in my engineering. So I loved that diagram during that time, and it was very useful when I was doing this also. So that was the funniest and most exciting part for us, that all telecom engineers, mechanical engineers, so-called mechanical engineers sitting in the telecom industry were doing the full design operations. And after 2 months, we came out gloriously out that our bills have reduced to hardly 5% or 1% of that cost. And we have even brought to a just-in-time inventory country. So today I don't keep high inventory. I have all my consumer spares being sourced locally. And even if we require any technology from outside, we absorb it and we develop it in India now. So that was the most challenging and exciting part for me.
Very, very inspiring.
Thanks. But that's where mechanical engineer gets a chance. They will always do like this, I will say. If you will tell me, I'll make a car also.
Oh, wonderful. And when did you get an exposure to sustainability?
Sustainability is, so when we started our career itself, a core construction guy, I'm a guy who is creating resources for the public at large. If my creation is not going to stand, if I'll just speak it like this, for construction, you have to understand all the bridges that we make, all the flyovers that we make. If they're not sustainable, they are not of no use to you. So we work on sustainability day in, day out. We are not exposed to it, we live it. But the word sustainability today means a bigger, larger picture. It only does not contain to my natural resources or small things over here. It also corresponds to my environment at large. If my cement is being used, then from where the natural water that I'm using, water resources, how I'm doing. That I got to exposure when I was working in L&T around year 2009 or 10. And I had an opportunity to attend a conference which was of green buildings. So there was a concept of green buildings. LEED is a high company which basically does a rating of your building, whether your building is a green building or a non-green building. Whether the lights are being, are you required to switch on your lights during daytime? Is the ventilation through AC, natural, all those things. So I got amazed with the concepts of the green buildings at that point of time, which was sustainable. Now we can see vertical gardens coming over in Bombay, in all our, even our, these flyovers are being used as gardens and all this in Delhi. If you see metro rails are being used like that. So this is where I got much better in-depth exposure to sustainability when I was working over there. When I joined Jio, I came with the whole sustainable construction approach. But the best part with Jio is they are way, way well advanced in sustainability. So it's not an option for me, but it's a mandatory for me that my processes shall be end-to-end sustainable. Whatever am I doing shall be in benefit of the society at large. Our chairman very clearly says that if the country will develop, the organization will automatically develop. So this is where sustainability is inbound with us. Today, we are working on a lot more initiatives. We are reducing our energy carbon footprints. We are reducing our energy bills. We are bringing in solarization at our sites so that we are not using DG and electricity. And we all know about green energy and solar energy being taken at a mega levels by Jio or Reliance as such. And we are rolling out those projects so that our energy requirements are becoming net zero before the deemed example of 2030 that we say, but we are trying to be as well as advanced as we are in our projects on sustainability models also. So that's a brief of sustainability from my end, because this is a topic which I love, and that's why we are having this conversation. So if I will go on, I can go on continuing on sustainability, but this is where I'll stop right now.
Yeah. And technology is also your forte.
That's my life right now. So technology is my life. So how you can say it like this, that technology, we all started, means our generation started and saw that railway tickets were being given out of a leaflet, which were being printed or being handwritten. Even we have all seen bus tickets being punched and given to us with a coding number over there. And then we have seen in our generation, before our kids can grow, we have seen in our generation itself them totally changing into a computerized technology. So first revolution I saw in my early childhood, during 90s, late 90s, you can say 96, and when the IT revolution hit us, which made computers a part of our life. So by the time I was coming out of school, I was hands-on with computers. So for me, the technological shift was not so much high, because we were very young at that point of time. The change happened after that for me, when I joined Jio, and we were entrusted with a program of digitizing the economy. You have seen information technology revolution. We have now digitized the country. And this revolution, I'm very proud that this technology, or whatever you can talk about, we have worked our sweat into it. And within 5 to 6 years, we have rolled out a world-class mega network. Since 2016, you guys have never seen anything. You have not bought 300 rupees per GB data. You have never ever bought it. We are talking over here. We are today communicating with each other. COVID was the time when we were all connected because of this digital infrastructure that we had created. We were toiling in the field. All my team works, all my teams, all my colleagues were there. We were there in the field during COVID so that everyone in the society can stay connected. So I've seen automation, I've seen technology coming and growing its leaps and bounds. In between, I have, from pure construction, moved into automation of construction modules. So the biggest unorganized sector in the country is infrastructure and construction. This industry is still unorganized industry because of its multiple variables, because of its multiple challenges. Now, today, if I have to execute any field operation in the field, I will require at least 3 things. I shall monitor that, I shall govern that, and if there is any course correction, I shall be able to do that or suggest that. And construction, we have a divide and rift between people. We have construction managers and we have program managers, or so-called planning managers. So we always see the people who present the things very nicely are planning or program managers who knows, who can speak. The construction managers are the people who are being thought that they are the hands-on people in the field. They will do the dirty work. They will do the hard work in the field. They're the dirty shoes for us. I took a decision that no, the technology has to enable that guy who is in the field, who is standing in the field and in the sun and working for us. We tried to make their life happy. Whether it was L&T or in Jio, I have made a promise to myself that my field team will have a single click platforms available to them, so that in the day they do not work in the field. In the evening, they come and write on a piece of paper and then pass it on to someone that please send a mail or do something. Whatever they are doing, they're clicking on their mobiles now, and we are getting the real-time data over here. So I am trying to make it more of a production-based economy for construction also, bringing in, customizing our solutions. And with the wherewithals of Reliance, I am proud to say that we own at least 3 to 4 own in-house platforms. You can talk about ERPs. We have our own development team, own testing teams, automation teams for us, which are spearheading all and using our map services, using our different services, our retail integration, our SAP integration, our finance, our accounts, everything being integrated and creating a very simplified automation solutions for all our people across the field. So technology, whether it is ML, AI, chatbot, chat GPT, whatever you want to say about it. I see a very promising future coming out of it. I see an education environment changing because of technology, because from a knowledge-based technology, it will come to be a curious economy. I will be more curious what I want to know. Rather than to learn, I have to be curious to what a question I shall pose to, how I shall ask it, how simplified articulation of the questions or my thoughts I can basically do that. That will be more important in coming days rather than whether I know Ohm's law or not. That will be not much better. ChatGPT will tell me what Ohm's law is. And forecasting models. So technology also helps in forecasting. I know what we have seen our all projects getting delayed like anything. We have always say, वो बोला था 5 साल तक बनता नहीं है. That is being a very normal thing. ये गोखले ब्रिज टूट गया, अब वो बनेगा नहीं 4 साल. So that is how our construction teams are being envisaged across the field. The problem is the data is so much high that we have been using technology into it. We have been collating data, but the analytics have not happened at that level that we are consuming it. In my last discussion in Autodesk conference around 6 months back, we were having an interaction with a senior colleague in Singapore who was telling me that only 5% of the data that is being the data that is being collated from all our construction sites, only 5% is being used and analyzed. So there's a huge chance for us to understand what the balance 95% is there and consume that and create models which give us more efficient, predictable models. Like ChatGPT is there. So we have still a lot of scope of making all these in construction and making it so simplified that the normal people, the small contractors who are working with us in the field, they understand that. I do not require a computers engineer over there. So my technology, the challenge with me is technology, but in a simplified way to be served to the society at large. That is the biggest challenge that I see today in technology. And yes, that is my life today. We'll keep on living it. We are enjoying it also.
Yes, sure enough. You are enjoying it. And you are also now a corporate governance expert. So what values do you aim to inculcate from your existing into your new role?
See, that is an area where I think country itself at a large will have to work a lot. We have seen a lot of failures coming into recent past of a very big infrastructure companies. We have seen a lot many other kind of units, manufacturing or services unit hitting NCLT these days. And that only has happened because of some lapse at somewhere by someone. I will not say that these are the matters which are subjudiced, but people at large will have to understand that it is I, it is me, and then we who ensure that the governances are in place. To happen that, we need to be transparent. We need to accept what is happening over here. We shall be reporting what is actually happening rather than just to stoke my shareholder value or just to stoke my share price. I only do a selective reporting of the things which are happening and which are not happening. I hide my projects which are not performing, and I super advertise the projects which have happened very nicely for me. So that is not the way how governance, corporate governance shall happen. If I talk about large infrastructure projects, or if I talk about even the fintech services, we have seen, we always talk about how many number of users are there. No one talks about how many active users are there. No one talks about what is the definition of active is there. So we will have to get into these kind of corporate governances, bring the fact to the table, and this technology can be multifold increased, but with the right set of matrices where we can have transparency, where we can have accountability of people, where we can believe that people are accepting all ethnicities. I'll just put it like this. They are emotional, their emotional quotient is being respected, and their stakeholder engagement is high. That is the corporate governance for me, where we are working towards a better society, a better tomorrow, and a healthy tomorrow for us.
And as you're aware that we are building the global thought leaders community for cross-pollination of knowledge and a community of independent directors, for having a better corporate governance in the country. We would like to know what are your thoughts about these initiatives taken by the whole WDC team?
Oh, so first of all, thanks to the whole WDC team, including you, Anjana. So these are the platforms where people like me and multiple people like other people will come. We'll create a hive. We'll create a community. We can cross exchange our ideas. We can cross exchange our thoughts. We can cross exchange our problems also. If I am working with a fintech company and I don't have a skill set of, let me say, a technology or HR perspective of it, I do not know how HR works. And all governances require a very good HR knowledge. I am very good in technology. I am very good in all these things, but HR, where my hand will be tied. I'll surely depend on this community back and will get those expertise advices that what are the reading material that I shall refer to? What is the thing that I shall go, how I shall approach the problem to? So these are the small things that this community will enable me. This community will also ensure that the like-minded people who are thinking of corporate sustainability growth, a sustainable growth for our ecosystem, for our corporate environment, will ensure a cleaner tomorrow, will ensure a better tomorrow. That also, it will create us. Today also, a lot of my peers, a lot of my colleagues, and a lot of my co-workers are interacting with governments across the globe, whether it is World Economic Forum, whether it is NITI Aayog in India, whether it is anything, UN working everywhere in US. So we are engaging with them and we are affecting their policies. We are trying to get clean water for everyone. We are trying to get clean air. Now, I will put it like this. I am trying to get clean air in Mumbai itself. I do not have clean air in Mumbai. I do not have clean air in Delhi itself. So we need to work towards that. This is the community, which is an empowered community, which is not just a public at large, but a very enabled, very high intellect, empowered community through which we can bring a change. And we will look toward WDC's initiative very positively and the platform that they are providing us to take our voices to the right people. So.
Yes. Thank you for your motivating feedback.
Thank you. Thank you.
And that was a fantastic conversation with you. I am confident that your insights will inspire the future leaders. Thanks for joining us today, Lalit, and wish you the very best for your future endeavors.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ajuna. And thank you to the WDC team. Thank you very much.